It's time for Culture Talk, and the newly launched Windhoek Doek Literary Awards are awarded every 2 years to celebrate the works of 4 Namibian literary artists. 2 writers, fiction and non-fiction, a poet and a visual artist, published in Doek Literary Magazine. The awards seek to bring a wider Namibian and international audience to the selected works, writers, poets and visual artists. And Doek founder and author Rémy is in studio right now to tell us everything we need to know about the awards. It's not his first time actually in studio, so I'm not going to give him a big welcome today.
Thank you, Treasure.
How are you, Rémy?
It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
It's always a pleasure to have you. Yeah.
A wonderful platform for arts in the country, so it's always a wonderful thing for me to just be here with you all.
Yeah, and coming to share all the magic and all the creativity juices and all of that.
You always give me the big warm welcome.
Yeah,
man.
I do, because you're special. You know you're special, so that's it's needed. All right, so Rémy, give us some background on the awards and how long it has been in the making.
Ooh, how long it has been in the making is a long answer that we do not have time for. But what I can tell you is that since we incorporated Doek, an arts organization supporting the literary arts in Namibia, we thought about this since last year in July.
Yeah.
We thought about how we're going to go about rewarding and recognizing Namibian literary artists. And obviously incorporating an organization of this stature and size takes some time. So we were finally ready to go in January. And the idea for the awards was already there, and we were looking for ways and means to get it made and done and be a wonderful experience for everybody involved.
Yeah.
And obviously anything arts related in Namibia, anywhere in the world, is hard to get off the ground. You need someone who understands your vision, someone who understands the journey, someone who's willing to be with you along the way despite any hardships that might be along the way. And when we were looking around for viable partners, the most obvious and the most supportive was Windhoek Doek. We approached them with this initiative, and they were very enthusiastic and happy about supporting us. As you know, Windhoek Doek has a long history in the Namibian art scene. They not only support Namibian arts, but the art scene itself, the people who are involved in it. And so when we approached them with this idea, they were very enthusiastic and very, very supportive. And we were very, very happy to partner with them to bring these awards out of the shadows and, you know, into the light. And to have them along as our official partner for them is just the most rewarding experience we could have. It justifies all the planning, all the preparation that went into it.
And the sweat and tears that goes
blood,
into it
sweat,
as well.
and tears. But you know, with Windhoek Doek just supporting us and just being, again, affirming their commitment to Namibia and the Namibian art scene, we are hoping to build something that is not only good now, but good for the future. We have a very long outlook of life. And so I'm glad that they share our vision, that they're thinking about what is important now, tomorrow, and the day after. And I think that's what you need when you're trying to create a sustainable literary arts movement.
Rémy, why do you think it's so important for entities like Windhoek Doek to support the arts and creatives, especially right now during COVID-19? Why do you think that is? Why is it so important to have more of these entities invest in the arts?
So I think the most important aspect of the lockdown was it showed us just how much we rely on the arts to keep us tethered to reality. Can you imagine what this period of lockdown or, you know, constricted movement would have been like without music, without books, without films?
Can't imagine.
And those things are not created from thin air. Artists actually sit down and consider and make those things. And so there's this proverb that says everyone loves a good story, but nobody loves a good storyteller. And we're trying to address that narrative and say the good stories, the good music you enjoy, the good films you like, they're not made by robots, they're made by people. And those people have, you know, realities that they need to address as well. But the most important reason why entities like Windhoek Doek need to support these things and why we're grateful for them to come is that they're joining an established tradition of very good and powerful institutions supporting the arts. So what you call the Renaissance, you know, all the artists of the greatest artists of our time, whoever those you might be, if you scratch beneath the surface, they're not by themselves. They have patrons who might be the lords of the land, or there might be powerful banking institutions in the Italian Renaissance era. So it's not new. What we're doing is not new. Artists often look for partnerships with corporate or corporate entities that understand the vision. The hard part is always finding those people who share a like-minded idea. But art and, banks, other arts institutions, or similarly minded corporate organizations, these partnerships are not new. So for us, it is very wonderful to have partnered Bank Windhoek because we're joining, the Renaissance and the powerful Medici family. We're joining literary arts movements in Nigeria that are supported, for example, by Sterling Bank.
Yeah.
We're joining arts movements in South Africa, in the US, and the UK that are partnering with like-minded organizations. So it's wonderful to be part of this community and to be able to say, Namibia is doing things and we're doing things with people who understand our challenges.
Yeah. Amazing. There aren't many platforms, that celebrate and honor artists from this field. What would you say this means to literary artists in Namibia?
Yeah. Oh man, it's wonderful. Every sort of artist in Namibia, especially if you're in the performing arts, you do get recognized and you do get some reward. But as a writer, sometimes you feel like, you feel like the forgotten child of the arts family. This is not just here, but everywhere. It's systemic, it's continental, it's international. And so for us, it's wonderful to recognize writers, specifically those who write short fiction, non-fiction, poetry, and visual artists who work with photography and illustration. Because these are for me personally, these are my people. Like, I understand their struggles and their challenges. And so to be recognized for your work is just powerful because it encourages more people to pursue these art forms. Remember, artists are also just normal economic beings. Nobody wants to be the thing that doesn't get recognized or doesn't get a stage on which to shine. So if you're a sculptor and you get recognized as a very good sculptor and your work travels, more people are encouraged to do sculpture.
Yeah.
But if you are a writer and you write an awesome story and nobody reads it and you don't get recognized for your labor, nobody wants to be a writer. And so we want to encourage more people within this existing fields because there are so many writers, they're just not recognized. We want to draw them onto a platform where their work can be enjoyed. And, for us as Namibians, it's important to see our own storytellers shining. For once, we are used to hearing about writers from Nigeria, Egypt, Kenya, South Africa, the big literary traditions on the continent. But we're slowly building momentum and saying, there are many literary artists
in Namibia,
and we're here in Namibia
to shine
creating, writing, telling stories that are not only good for us, but that have recognition across the continent and also everywhere in the world.
Amazing. Take us through some of the great prizes up for grabs, Rémy, for those who will be lucky enough to win some of the accolades.
All right. So the grand prize for the 4 winners who will win in the fiction, non-fiction, poetry, and visual arts category is a $5,000 cash prize sponsored by Bank Windhoek. On top of this, there are other things that you can win. Some of them are non-monetary prizes, but that are relevant to the winners' fields of literary creation. So we're trying to get our artists, their work featured in, for example, art galleries here and internationally. I think that is meaningful for our artists, that their work travels, because it's wonderful to walk into rooms where you're like, there is a Namibian artist, and you're like, being displayed along Nigerian, South African, Angolan artists, whatever. So we're trying to get these opportunities for our visual artists. For our poets, for our non-fiction and fiction writers, we're getting them included in select anthologies, collections of short stories or non-fiction essays that are forthcoming from the continent and elsewhere in the world. We're networking, creating these opportunities for them. But the good thing is, when you have excellent leadership, team players show up without invitation. And so with Bank Windhoek joining us and partnering with us, it has been wonderful to see the response from Namibian businesses stepping up to also make this a meaningful opportunity for our artists. And we've got forthcoming collaborations with the likes of Namibia Wine Merchants, with Slowtown, with the Book Den, Uncle Spike's Book Exchange. And so we have Gondwana has come on board. award, we are not yet revealing what the specific prizes are. But what we are going to be doing is we've got a nice long run up to the awards. So come August, we're going to reveal the very first round of prizes sponsored by these wonderful Namibian partners. And then the next round will unveil the next set in October when the shortlist is announced. And so it's just wonderful to see Namibian businesses also answer the call. And they're out here doing wonderful things, and it's really, really, really awesome to have this opportunity, and we're looking to make this an experience that will not be forgotten.
Rémy, for the folks tuning in, and just for more information, if I want to, enter or be a part of the award ceremony, where can we find more information on how to enter, and is there criteria to enter as well?
So there are 3 steps that I can tell you. 1, courage. You need to have courage. So go home, write your short story, write your poem, write your essay, shoot your photographs, draw your illustrations. You need to have the courage to continue creating. Secondly, once you have created, then you need to submit your work for consideration. You have to be published in an issue of Doek, and the last issue for consideration is forthcoming in July. The best way to submit your work is go to www.doeklitmag.com and submit your work for consideration. Once we get all of the eligible entries, we choose the best works, we publish them in Doek, and that automatically, if you are Namibian, guarantees you entry into the competition.
When is the due date for entry?
The due date will be Friday, 18th of June at midnight, Namibian time.
Yes,
midnight.
Namibian time.
So don't try and, for example, submit something at 2 o'clock and say, I thought it was American time. No, Namibian time. And from there on, we take all of the eligible entries, we choose the best works, and then from there the published writers automatically become eligible for consideration for their awards. But there are other benefits that come with being published in Doek, and I think now is a good time to share, because it's been like one of our best kept secrets. Is one of our writers, Rémy Ngamije, who was published in a November issue, published a wonderful short story called December, had his work picked up and is now going to be published in an anthology of short stories for Kenyan high school students.
Wow.
A population of 46.7 million people. That's being
amazing.
Taught a Namibian writer's work.
That is the aim.
When we got the news, we were emotional, we were teary-eyed, we were like, oh goodness gracious. And so for us, for that writer to have his work being appreciated by such a large demographic of people far away on the other side of the continent is really meaningful, and you never know where this young writer's life will go. I know for sure he's talented and destined for big things, but if this platform had not existed, where would he be? And so for us, the amplification of Namibian voices is really what we're about. The local storytellers who are based here, because Namibians are also in the diaspora. Wherever they are, we want to hear from them. But it's wonderful to be able to share this news that Rémy Ngambije's work is going to be out in the world, and he is a voice to be looking out for, because he's going to do big things with his writing.
I believe that. Rémy, thank you so much for again joining us here in 99 and sharing this amazing news, and continue to create platforms for writers to be able to be free to create and write these amazing Namibian stories.
No, it is wonderful, and it's always a wonderful opportunity to be here with you guys, 99 FM. You are an important pillar of the arts community. So thank you so much for always creating the space.
Thank you. Rémy in the studio talking about the Bank Windhoek Literary Awards, or Doek Literary Awards, that is of course going to be happening really soon. You have until the 18th of June to submit your pieces, so please go ahead and do that before the due date is up. Midnight Namibian time, like Rémy said. Our cast is up next with Miss Jackson on 99.